Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hard Count. We got a great episode for you guys today. We're talking about the NFL. We're recapping Week 1, and man, oh man, so much happened. Brandon and Jake. Everyone say hi to Jake as our guest. Jake, wave to the camera.
What's going on?
This is Jake. Do you guys know Brandon? You should know Brandon. He's here every week.
I hope so.
He's pretty consistent. But, guys, we'll start here, okay? Thursday night football. Like, as a Lions fan, I know what I thought of that night, but I want to hear y'all's opinions on what you saw. We'll start with you, Brandon. Like, Brandon, when you watched that game, what was going through your head, man?
Well, I expected a close game. I'm not going to lie, actually. I expected with Dan Campbell. I believe in Dan Campbell. We talked about that on last week's podcast, so you all should go check it out if you haven't already. But I was impressed. I was impressed with that, with honestly the defense in containing Mahomes, but also, well, I mean, Mahomes did throw for still 226 yards, but I mean,
dang it,
still pretty good. I mean, for Mahomes,
great. Yeah,
and but I was impressed. I was really impressed with the run game. I liked how David Montgomery ran the ball for 71 total yards. I think 74. Either way, David Montgomery, obviously he didn't have like the flashiest, biggest plays, but he moved the ball when they needed to move the ball.
Oh, he made it happen, yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, it was 3 yards per carry or something like that, but he didn't need to go for 20 because Jahmyr Gibbs is sitting there, and they were just – they said they were resting him, and this man still went – here, I have it right here. This man went for 7 carries and 42 yards with 2 receptions for 18 yards, and they said they were easing him into the game. So
that's a lot of work.
And he took like 2 bodies with him.
Yeah, he did.
So I was very impressed. I was impressed with Goff, and that big stage like that. It kind of proved that Goff was still here, and Goff is still that kind of quarterback and that dude. Okay,
that guy.
Jake, what'd you think?
I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy. I mean, he's working his way up in there. Of course, as a Jahmyr Gibbs fantasy owner personally, it was a little annoying to see Montgomery go crazy like that. But it was, that like you said, they're working him in, so I can't be upset about that. I will say, though, Kadarius Toney is on the chopping block, and so is Sky Moore, but definitely Toney. That was like – I mean,
brutal.
That was some of the worst receiving I've seen in a long time. I mean, he was wide open on even like 3rd and 21 or something at one point near the end of the game. So that was just – that was brutal. But, the Lions deserve that win for sure.
Oh, yeah.
They were the better team.
They look like they wanted it more than the Chiefs did that day.
You guys don't have to say we did. There's plenty of people out there in America that are like, this is true. Kelsey did not play, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's a big factor.
Kelsey didn't play.
Jones did not play.
Yeah.
That's also an even bigger factor in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y'all still believe they deserve that win?
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, hey, that's –
You want to offend me?
That's the stuff you have to deal with, right? As an NFL franchise. You have to deal with players potentially going out in practice. Players potentially, if you don't sign your best defensive player on a contract and you have all offseason knowing he wants a contract, that's your effing fault, okay? So you can't blame like the Chiefs and you can't blame Andy Reid for not losing to him. But Jared Goff went out there, they took what was given to him, and they threw the rock around and they ran the ball down the Chiefs' throat, okay?
Yeah.
So I think they deserve that win. I mean, I don't agree with Mike Tirico saying, oh, put an asterisk by this, because at the end of I don't know if you caught that,
Is that
but
what he said?
There's a clip at the very end. It's like, and the Lions get a win, but put an asterisk by it because there was no Kelsey or no Chris Jones. And at the end of the day, that's too damn bad. You lost. I mean, an L's an L. At the end of the day, no one Travis Kelsey didn't play. Okay, so what? Their defense still looked dominant. And I'm not saying, they would have locked up Kelsey to no yards.
Nobody can.
But, yeah, that's true. But, I mean, you still won the game. So congrats to the Lions. You took week 1 from the defending Super Bowl champions.
Let's go, Lions.
Feel good about it.
Huge.
Hey, and you're still playing the best player in the NFL and Patrick Mahomes.
That's true.
And a great defense. It's a win. A win is a win.
Yeah.
That's still the Kansas City Chiefs that are playing out there. So
yeah,
a win is a win.
Yeah, you're playing Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes is healthy. So those are your top 2 guys that you need. And there's one more thing, and this also didn't help the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes led in rushing.
Ooh, did he really?
45 yards and 6 carries. Pacheco only got 23 yards in 8 carries.
Ooh,
you can't have – now, if you have a running quarterback like Lamar Jackson, like Jalen Hurts, like Justin Fields. You can have quarterbacks be your leading rusher, okay? That's fine. But when it's Patrick Mahomes, you probably don't want him carrying 8 times for 45 yards, okay?
No, we can't do that.
Yeah, that's a little dangerous, especially with Detroit Lions who have quoted, we're going to bite your kneecaps off. So don't do that. And having that quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, lead your rushing yards, not good, Chiefs, okay? So something needs to change with the rushing. Matt Nagy, the play calling was iffy on the last couple of drives,
Say
okay?
the least, yeah.
Yeah, having the – and then they beat themselves when they did the why am I forgetting? The motion, side to the right. I don't know. Either way, I'm blanking on that. But when it was like the 4th down and they
jet sweep?
Yeah, jet sweep. There
Jet
it is.
sweep on 3rd and short?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot the name. Okay. I haven't played Madden in a couple of years. But they did the jet sweep. So what kind of call was that? Anyway, Lions deserve the win. Congrats to the Lions.
Let's go. Good stuff. I'm going to transition here to, honestly, the biggest surprise of the weekend. The biggest surprise of the weekend for me. How did the Bengals lose 3-24? Looked non-existent out there. I mean, Joe
scary.
Burrow just got paid the biggest contract. I mean, maybe not in history, but like per year, the biggest in history. Jake, do you have any thoughts? Like, did you watch that game actually or no? Or did you just see highlights?
I caught part of it. I caught part of it. I was surprised to see T. Higgins with maybe I'm mistaken on this, but I think it was 9 targets and 0 catches.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, he had catches? I thought he had
That's-
9.
No, 0 catches, 0 fantasy points, 0 everything.
Tragic.
Joe Burrow, not a great game at all. Like you were saying, highest paid player right now, and just that was a complete struggle. I'm honestly I'm honestly not that surprised that their defense gave up 24 points to the Browns.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson is still a great football player, whether you agree with his actions on or off the field, right, is a whole nother thing, but he's still a great football player. They have really good wide receivers going. They have an amazing running back in Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is one of my favorite running backs in the league.
Oh, yeah.
So, when you throw Elijah Moore and Amari Cooper on that lineup, it's going to be pretty dang good. But the Bengals just got to score more points. I mean, that's what everybody sees as one of the highest powered offenses in the league. So I was very surprised to see not even a touchdown, just throw up a field goal. I mean, you're as good as the Giants at that point.
We'll get to that
Wow.
game.
What a way to
Yeah,
mic drop
I
that.
like
that.
that.
Was brutal. But
I like that.
nothing else to say there unless you have something to say, Brandon.
Well, I will say, I mean, that Browns defense is something, huh? I mean,
Yeah.
well,
Good, good.
Myles Garrett is already making a front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett was literally
That's who
doing.
yours was.
Yeah.
That's your call.
Myles Garrett was literally doing NBA crossovers before the snap. Like Joe Burrow was lining up, getting ready to snap, and this man's sitting there like.
Is that an NBA crossover?
Yeah, that was my Luka Doncic crossover. That thing wasn't shaking salt,
Like
baby.
a Roblox
okay?
crossover.
Yeah, that was some animated crossover if I've ever seen one. But that man was impressive, and that man dominated that defensive line or that offensive line. The D line dominated the O line, and just absolutely completely dominated that offense.
Oh, that was good stuff.
Thank you.
49ers put a curb stomping on the Steelers. That was a great game. Purdy threw 2 touchdowns. He looked phenomenal, by the way. Like, I know Purdy had a great run last year. It was a bunch of subpar defenses, so I was surprised to see him do that to the Steelers. Apparently, their defense isn't that good as I thought it was. Like, because historically, they're like, oh, the steel curtain.
Yeah.
It wasn't this year, apparently, but he looked great after that elbow surgery, so good things come for the 49ers.
Well, that was also something that was in question, right? Was they're going into Pittsburgh and they're playing one of the top-rated defensive last year, and then they're having to play one of the NFL leading sack leaders in T.J. Watt, right? And so everyone's like, we're going to really find out because, like Cade touched on, they haven't really played – or Purdy hasn't really played a great defense in his time as a starter. Like an absolute shutdown defense, I think top 5, top 10 defense that were last year. Anyway, and he showed out. I mean, Ayuk looked fantastic. Debo got the ball a lot. Shanahan just diced up the entire D line or defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Christian McCaffrey did what he did, and I mean, it's hard to beat 8 receptions for 129 yards and 2 TDs in Ayuk, right? So
It was a very clean-cut, all-around game too. Shout out Fred Warner. That dude is an
Oh my
absolute
God,
beast.
That
man.
dude's a
just
beast.
seeing him run around the field is just like that dude is a absolute beast.
yeah,
So.
yeah. I remember like one of the first drives, he just decks Najee Harris. Like I'm talking in the backfield, gets him and just smacks him to the ground. And I was like,
My friend
no.
actually, he played on Fred Warner's high school team
Oh.
back in California, and he was like, he was that guy. He's like, I was a freshman and he was a senior, and oh my God, he was different. Fred Warner's that guy. He's insane. Brandon, I'm gonna go here because I've been dying to hear this all week long. I'm sorry we had to touch up on it.
we have to.
Brandon was at the game in Chicago.
Yes, I was.
He had a good time. Chicago was absolutely gorgeous, but I think it'd be better if he could tell you about it. Brandon, what did you see this game as a Bears fan? Being what were you, row 2?
No, I was row 2 up in the upper level, so I was like the second
So you had
level.
the best seat in the house.
It was a pretty nice seat. Actually, I saw. It was funny. I was gonna mention this to you until like I forgot about it. But I actually saw we passed Greg Olson. He was sitting there talking on the
shut
phone
up.
because Greg Olson was there. It's America's Game of the Week, and me and my dad are looking for like some memorabilia and stuff to take home with us because we like that stuff. It's a special trip, and we go to Chicago once a year, so we like to take home stuff from that game. And we're looking around, and we walk past all the studios and the booths for all like the report or all the analysts and the videos and stuff like that. And lo and behold, we're walking down the hall, and there's a tall ass dude, and I'm talking like bigger than obviously bigger than me, but
Brandon's
taller
tall if
than
you didn't
me.
know this.
And I'm like, holy shit, that's Greg Olson. And he was on the phone, so I didn't want to be like, hey, Greg, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, but do you want a picture? So but I saw him, and I kind of made eye contact with him for like a second, and he saw it in my eyes. He was like, Don't you talk to me right now. But I was just like, I really want to say something right now. But I saw Greg Olson. So that was really cool. Anyway, we'll get to the game. Obviously, not what we were expecting, okay, as a Chicago Bears fan, as a fan base. But Jordan Love played a great game, okay?
We got good.
I mean, the O-line dominated our D-line, okay? Absolutely Jordan Love had tons of time in the pocket, right? Jordan Love threw for what? He was 15 for 27 for 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. So
the only quarterback week 1 to have 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Yeah.
In the entire league.
So obviously a lot to work on as a Bears, as a team in general. Okay, we got to work on the O-line. The D-line has to get more pressure, and then I think our entire secondary can improve. And it didn't help that Kyler Gordon just broke his hand for 6 to 8 weeks. So
yeah, that's tough.
brutal.
So, shit. but I will say, obviously, we need to target DJ more. And I'm not gonna say it's. Let me get this straight, okay? Say what you want about Justin Fields. That man had no help from his O-line the entire game. Okay, the O-line. There's a picture where 4 out of 5 of the O-line are facing Justin Fields. So at a moment, all of the O-linemen are facing him.
That's not a good look.
Justin Fields is looking that way. All the O-line is looking this way. So guess where the Green Bay Packers are? That way in front of Justin Fields' face, okay? And I will say, Justin Fields, there were some questionable times where you could have made maybe a split-second decision and thrown it to like an open Moore or an open Mooney. But then again, he didn't have that much time to throw it. They were in his face all the time. He did but you saw he made a decent throw. He made a good throw to Mooney in the end zone. That was a touchdown. Now, it doesn't help when Luke Getsy calls the plays and they're just screen passes and dump-offs to the team that knows they're just screen passes and dump-offs the entire game because they started to get wise to that real soon, real quick, okay? LaFleur's not dumb. And when we only have 3 plays over 15 yards to receivers, you're probably not going to win the football game.
Oh, yeah, no way.
Unless you have Tyreek Hill, okay? I will say this. Roshan Johnson is an absolute stud, and he actually might take over RB1 really soon. We put him in late in the game to save Khalil Herbert a little bit, I think. I don't know. I have no idea why but we split reps with Khalil Herbert. I'm pretty sure they had the same amount of – no, they didn't have the amount of carries. I think, Khalil Herbert had 9 carries.
Similar, though.
Roshan had like 5 carries. But Roshan's a beast, okay?
Oh, yeah,
you saw
he
him
is.
truck the Packers guy.
Like multiple times.
Yeah, and then he got in the end zone. He found the end zone. It was called back earlier, but it was obviously a lot of things to work on as a Bears fan. Great game for the Packers. A lot to look forward to for Jordan Love. Let's see if he keeps it up. But I want to hear what y'all's opinion was on the game. And don't hold back. If you want to say something, let me have it.
I think you aced it pretty good there, but I would shout out Jordan Love. I have him on my dynasty team. I have
You traded for him.
traded for him, traded a first-round pick. My belief is that, regardless of how Jordan Love turns out, I think he will be the starter in Green Bay for quite some time. And, that's a guy I'm willing to take a risk on there. And he had a good first game. He showed out. He seems comfortable in preseason. He seemed comfortable in that game. I mean, that's Packers versus Bears. That's one of the biggest rivalries that our sport has. And sorry, Brandon, I always have a soft spot for the Bears, of course. But specifically Jordan Love, I was at least a little bit happy to see him get off to a decent start. So, but other than that, I think you hit it pretty much on the head.
As a full-time hater, I was pissed to see Jordan Love do well, man. Oh, my. I don't want to do this again. We've had Favre and Rodgers, and now Love. I almost thought for sure Love was going to be dog water. But we have to acknowledge he had a great O-line. Okay, like the Bears couldn't touch him. They touched him maybe once all
Bakari didn't
game.
Bakhtiari didn't allow a single pressure.
No, he owned the Bears that game. They absolutely killed it. This isn't written in stone. This is still up in the air. But he had a great first game to start the season. He looked fantastic. But I think y'all summarized it perfectly.
Let me say,
Justin Fields still waiting on that 300-yard pass game, buddy.
Waiting for it, buddy. Waiting for it.
Yeah, it'll happen. But Justin Fields did go 24 for 37, 216, and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Obviously, that interception wasn't the greatest throw he ever decision made. I saw it as more of maybe a frustration throw. I don't know, because he was just getting swarmed the entire. Anyway, we talked about that. But Aaron Jones, that was the last guy I wanted to touch on. Aaron Jones, 41 rushing yards on 9 carries, 1 touchdown, 2 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Calm down, okay?
On my bench.
Jeez. Yeah, well.
I'm just kidding. That's my fault.
Yeah, but don't worry. I had a lot of those players like Ayuk on my bench, so that was fun. But, man. Watch out for the Packers' run game. We knew they would be a strong run game with Jordan Love and the addition of helping him out and easing him into the starting role. Mm-hmm. So we knew that Aaron Jones would have a big part, but I didn't think he would light it up like that. I mean, shit. Good job, Aaron Jones. Hopefully that hamstring's okay, but loss is a loss, so we'll get him week 17 maybe.
Is that when y'all play them next? Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, that's why it was also important because, they'll get bragging rights throughout the entire season unless, the Packers just tank
based
or
off
something.
game one.
I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. Anyway, we'll move on.
We will jump to the Dolphins-Chargers. I did not get to actually catch this game because I was locked into another one. But the Dolphins came back on the Chargers, and Hill had a day to say. What was it, 216? How many touchdowns?
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. And how many completions, Brandon? My bad. 11 completions. That I don't think you could have it, but that's got to be a Hall of Fame kind of day for him.
That's 20 yards a catch, I think.
Yeah, absolutely insane. So 15 targets. Tua had a freaking day with 466 yards, 3 tutties, 1 interception. Did he run it all too?
I don't know, but he was on my
5
bench.
yards. He gave you. That's brutal, brother.
You absolutely love to see it, though. We love to, he went through a lot last year, and you worry for him getting back out there. So to see him do that was really solid.
It was amazing.
Yeah, dude lit it up. Watch out. Miami didn't just look impressive; they looked more than explosive, and they looked like Mike McDaniel's, hands down, Coach of the Year candidate right then and there. Him and Dan Campbell are going to be like this the entire year, in my opinion. Great. Look, he completed to 7 different receivers that entire game. So it wasn't like he just threw it to Tyreek Hill. He threw to Tyreek Hill when he needed to throw to Tyreek Hill and when he was open. Obviously, don't press Tyreek Hill. There was a bunch of film and plays where the Chargers corner is 5 yards from Tyreek Hill's face. Don't do that, okay? You're going to lose, okay? Within the first 2 steps, you've already lost, okay? Tyreek Hill is gone.
It's over.
Watch the film. This dude is lined up, and then you'll play it. Pause. By the time you have time to pause it, Tyreek Hill is across behind the dude. Okay,
He's already surpassed him.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
just God, man, Miami's gonna be so good this year.
1 seed question mark?
It's possible.
It's a hard 1 seed to get, man.
If they
It's
stay
a
healthy,
very hard 1 seed to get.
And by the way, that was without Armstead, Tyron Armstead,
Uh-huh.
their best right tackle. I think I forget what. Either left tackle or right tackle. Either way, one of their best O linemen. That was without him, and he was still through for 466 yards.
I know it's week 1. The Bengals looked doggy week 1. The Bills looked doggy week 1, which we're about to get to. And then what was the last good team?
Chiefs.
The Chiefs, they looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. The Lions just played well.
They look good for what they had.
Yeah, but like those 2 teams who were huge powerhouses did not look great week 1, and I understand they're getting the kinks out. They're gonna figure it out. But there is a chance the Dolphins slip into this 1 seed and just completely flip this conference upside down. Now, I got a couple games I want to talk to. These last 3 I want to talk about. The Rams beat the Seahawks. Matthew Stafford returning to prime form with no Cooper Kupp, threw for 334 yards. Throw for any touchdowns?
No, they just ran it.
I've seen in my life.
No, they just ran the
So
ball. They got up to the goal line and just
handed
punched
it
it.
off. Wow. I mean, great day for fantasy if you got one of those running backs. But, dude, he looked good. I mean, this team has a ton of rookies and a ton of young players. Tutu Atwell and Puka, I think I said his name wrong, Nakua?
Yeah, Puka Nacua.
Puka Nakua, 10 receptions, 6 receptions.
Way to show out.
Yeah, the young kids had a great day. I never thought they would win this in a million years. That's just me, though.
No.
Did
No
y'all have
chance.
Any, any thoughts? Like, what were your thoughts going into this game between the Seahawks and the Rams?
30-13. Kenneth Walker went for about as good as I thought he was going to. I'm still like figuring him out. I don't know if he's gonna be like the amazing running back that we all know he can be watching him at Michigan State. I mean, that dude was insane. But yeah, Geno Smith mid game, like barely over 100 yards passing.
Yep.
That was a little alarming to see. You're hoping he's not maybe that one hit wonder or whatever, but you know, he came out of nowhere last year. This was not a great first game, so he's still got a little bit to prove. What was that quote he said?
Shit.
Didn't write back.
Yeah, I didn't write back.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what it was. Okay, I thought you were talking about the Aaron Donald.
Wrote me
when
off
Aaron
and didn't
Donald
write
was-
back.
yeah.
When Aaron Donald was rushing him, he goes, "Oh shit!"
That
Or
was
like,
great.
"Oh my god!"
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, it was so good when he was mic'd up.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. I mean, 112 yards, and plus JSN was there, Metcalf was there, Disley was there, Lockett was there. So it's not like they were short by any means on any receiver. Just Metcalf 47 yards, JSN 13 yards, Lockett 10 yards, Disley 17 yards. You know, what the hell, right? So I mean,
Couldn't have said it better, Brandon.
yeah, but hey, you're wondering about Kenneth Walker, but Kenneth Walker on 12 carries, 64 yards, averaged about 5.3 yards a carry.
It's pretty solid.
So
NFL.
that's pretty solid, especially against Aaron Donald and the D-line, which still looks good. They're
they do.
young, but I just think there's a lot of names that we just don't know. Not like
Yeah.
they're definitely a good football team still. They're just very young, and then there's nobody that we really like hear about really because the Rams kind of stay quiet. And then all you hear about is Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald.
They feel like last year's Seahawks were just a bunch of rookies balling out.
Yeah. So watch out for him. But I mean, here's the thing: Cam Akers, 22 carries. How many yards do you think?
Honestly, I didn't even look. I'm gonna guess it's under like 4 yards a carry though.
I was gonna say 40.
He got on 22 carries. He only carried it 29 yards.
Oh, that's
Averaged
brutal.
1.3 a carry. So that man literally got a 1 yard red zone touchdown. That's I mean, so he just got a little handoff, a sneaky handoff, and you know,
Sell
fantasy
all
owners are
your
like,
stock.
thank God.
Yeah, sell all the stock.
I mean, you're 22 carries for 29 yards.
Brandon, you could have done that.
Well,
Yeah, you could fall forward 22 times, and you're
Yeah,
so
well.
tall you could probably get 2 yards a carry.
oh God, but I'll try. No, I don't know if I can do what Cam Akers does, but a little scary. Okay, what else you want to touch on?
Jake, the Cowboys put an ass whooping on the Giants. Okay, starting the game, you see the Giants driving. Saquon's doing well. Daniel's looking solid. I'm like, wow, this is going to be a great game. Remember that game back in like 2018 where that black cat ran on the field and it was Halloween
Yeah.
and everything changed?
Yep.
That's exactly what happened this game again. It was like a repeat. 40-0, the Cowboys just rout the Giants. Their defense had 30-something points, Jake. As a Cowboy fan, please break this game down for me.
Everyone that knows me knows I'm not your bandwagon crazy Cowboys fan. I'm never going to shove it in your face, and I'm a little bit realistic, at least. I would like
That's
to
better
think
than most, brother.
about kind of analyzing my team.
Very true.
This defense, which absolutely sucked 5 years ago, is ball hawking. And, we use that term here and there. This guy is a ball hawk, this, the other. And sometimes, we use it loosely. This defense is swarming to the ball. There is 5 or 6 defenders on every single tackle. 3 guys are diving for an interception at one time. It's like it is the most beautiful thing to see. And then I don't even know the details of Daniel Jones's contract. Is it 6 years?
Oh God,
Is
do
it
we
know?
6?
Okay,
I hope not.
4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is, that they just signed Daniel Jones to that contract, and they also signed the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders to have a couple wins. Okay, 4 years, yeah. They signed a 4-year contract to give wins to the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders. I mean, Daniel Jones is just not the guy, bro.
and lose
yeah.
your money while doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of said better, Jake.
Man, yeah, that was a game. How about it? But,
Oh, and one other thing I'd like to say.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have a soft spot for Zeke, so I'll start off by saying that. But this man goes to the Patriots. They hand him the ball off. He fumbles it. The Eagles end up winning the game. This man is still trying to find ways to screw us over. I mean, the first time he was gaining weight because he doesn't care. Then he gets back in shape because, oh, no, I need to sign another contract. Signs a contract, and, oh, how can I screw over the Cowboys? Giving the Eagles a win. Oh, my gosh, that was hard to see. But I'm still rooting for him.
Yeah, but that
I don't think it's rooting for you.
He's probably not.
Cowboys look great, Brandon.
Tony Pollard,
Tony Pollard.
Yep,
RB1,
TP.
100% officially
RB1.
certified. Because that was a question. That was some question. Trust me, I heard some of the talking heads at ESPN talk about, well, can he really take the throne of being a strict RB1? And yes. Okay.
no question.
Tony Pollard absolutely dominated that, whether it's receiving, whether it's rushing. I mean, that dude looked good. CeeDee Lamb still had like 77 yards. Of course, he didn't get a touchdown. I know fantasy owners were like, but
Rats.
I mean, you can't have them all. You can either have Micah Parsons and that whole D-line, Armstrong, all of them dominating, which was funny too because all of them pointed out Parsons, right? Because it's easy to point out Micah Parsons. He's in the backfield. He was living in the backfield. But Micah Parsons even went on like a podcast or his own like Twitch stream or show and was like, nobody's talking about these dudes. And I didn't do like shit on this play. Like he'll literally point out a play that Armstrong, I don't know the first name, but I know it's Armstrong. He got basically the whole sack, and then Micah just like kind of got like missed him in a way or something like that. And then Armstrong got a wide open Daniel Jones, and Micah just like jumped on top of him to help him. And they were like, Micah, you're insane. So it's like when Patrick Mahomes just throws like a 3-yard dump off to Travis Kelce, and Kelce takes it like 85 yards. And they're like, oh, my God, Patrick Mahomes, look at that pass.
He's the king.
But credit to Micah Parsons in that defense. Dan Quinn, lights out, right? I mean,
not a better performance you could
I
put
love
on.
what Jake said about
Yeah.
where the ball, if there was a ball in open field, fumble, interception, you saw at least 3 or 4 white jerseys on top of that ball or near that ball. So there was 1 Giants for every 4 Cowboys that was near that ball.
Yep, that's right.
That defense was, like Jake said, a swarm, and they didn't let up at all.
It's just beautiful, Jake.
It was beautiful.
I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
That game was beautiful.
Yeah, and you see that hit on Saquon, right? That I'm sure you enjoyed that, where Saquon got
Yeah,
decked. I love Saquon. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and it was more seeing Daniel Jones and Saquon and who's their coach? I can't remember right now.
Dabo.
Yes, and just seeing them just disappointed and just it's raining on them and they're just this is what everything has led up to. You know, it's
so
just
much hope coming in from the Giants.
Yeah.
So, like we're gonna run the Cowboys from
Yep.
last year. We were
So-
a playoff team.
that's kind of one of those things as a in division rival. You love to see that.
Oh
so.
yeah. Congratulations.
Just beautiful for Cowboys fans. No better kind of kickoff than that game right there. And to finish it up, 4 plays into Monday Night Football, all the Hard Knocks hype, since February when he decided, he went on Pat McAfee's show and said, I want to go and play for the Jets. We've been waiting for this game the entire time. 4 plays in, 4 snaps later, it's over. Just like that, I've never seen, I'm going to be honest, this might be the most, how do you say it, the worst injury ever, maybe at least top 5 in NFL history. Like, I've never seen a season with so much hype and potential for a fan base this starving, man. Like, this is, as a Lions fan, if this happened to me, I would be ruined. I don't know how the Jets fans are, like, coping with this right now.
It's been so long.
It's been so long. And they won, okay? Like, I get they won, but the Super Bowl shot is just gone. Like, if you were hoping for that, we all know, like, I hope Zach has a great season, and I hope he does very solid, but he's not taking them to the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen. You needed Aaron Rodgers. So what a blow to this team. Do you guys have any thoughts there? That was just
they would be Super Bowl favorites if Aaron Rodgers was healthy, because that defense is insane.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Defense is wild. What was it?
they
Jordan
own
White
Josh.
had 3 interceptions. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, no, that was that defense looked strong. They looked quick, and they got in Josh Allen's face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and these 2 guys right here to my left are not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fans.
No,
but I do like him a lot. He's always been one of my favorite quarterbacks ever growing up. I'm actually a little partial to him over Tom Brady, if I could even say that.
I
I
understand.
just like the way he plays. I enjoy watching him play football.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing for me to see. One thing I'd like to bring up, though, and this is slightly off topic if you guys don't mind,
Oh, please
but
do.
on topic at the same time, DraftKings got canceled.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you guys see this?
Oh, my,
Yeah.
yes.
DraftKings puts out there a never forget parlay,
What?
and it is for the Jets, the Mets, and the Yankees to win all on Monday night.
What are you
Of
doing?
course, they had to bring that back, but I can't imagine, and I was kind of telling these guys the other day, I can't imagine being the kid or the guy or grown-ass man in that boardroom to be like, hey, guys, this will be a great idea. This one's going to kill. Like,
Never forget it.
Well,
There
yeah.
was that one dude in the meeting that was like,
Don't do
that.
it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. And they were
Over
like,
at
shut up,
DCS,
intern. And he was like, okay.
Your CEO is just firing everyone in that department right now.
oh, man. Oh, and DraftKings is staged in Boston, so they were getting even more hate.
Oh, no.
saying it
that's
was,
brutal.
ain't gonna
anti-New
get-
York stuff. So
Yeah, they ain't going to get any business in New York.
Oh, that's tough. And the best, I mean, not like the worst thing is that 365 people bet on that by the time it got shut down.
Yeah.
Like a whole group, a couple of 100 were like, let's do it, never forget. Like I don't get it, man.
Yeah, 364 guys were like, yeah.
This is sweet. Nah, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? Guys, what a week. I know we didn't cover every game.
Wait. I want
Brandon.
to point out.
Yeah.
I want to point out some players on this because
Talk to me, Brandon.
this Monday Night Football game was a lot to watch. Correct? Like it was crazy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it was just emotional. It was emotional. Every point in the game was a great game. Sucks Aaron Rodgers got out. I want to point out 4 different things. Okay, it seems like a lot. I'll go by quick. Garrett Wilson. What an animal catch was that? What kind of circus was that? He was basically jumping up. Zach Wilson kind of threw the ball directly at Tre'Davious White. And Garrett Wilson got in front of him, almost basically knocked it to himself, and then just went up and just snatched that thing.
Disgusting.
And came down with that thing in the ball. And, like, the need to know, like, right then and there, ice in his veins, absolutely needed it, touchdown. And then, for some reason, they didn't really target him after that. Like, and they could have won it, I feel like, in the, fourth quarter near the end if they targeted him. But they were like, let's run it and go to overtime.
Cool catch.
Really? Yeah. Just good job, man.
Go run
Either
your
way,
route.
I mean, still 34 yards and 5 receptions, and, that's without Aaron Rodgers. So he did what he could do. I want to touch on Breece Hall. Breece Hall,
Yeah.
off an ACL, first game back. Not many expectations. They signed Dalvin Cook, so a lot of the expectation was obviously Dalvin Cook will probably get a lot of carries this season. Well, Dalvin Cook did get 13 carries. He only got 33 yards, though. So Dalvin Cook didn't look the best, even though he was bouncing around like he was like hot commodity, like I need a contract and I need someone to pay me.
Oh.
I mean, they were probably expecting a little bit more than 33 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Breece Hall goes in there off of an ACL, not even a year after his injury, 10 carries, 127 yards.
That's stupid.
Lights it up.
That's stupid.
Lights it up. Breece Hall is him. Oh, my God. I can't wait to see him this year and next year. I mean, I have him on my fantasy team, and I am giddy. Okay? So that needs to be said. I want to touch on Xavier Gibson, game winner.
Dude.
Made the roster just the other week. And then punt returns it for the win in overtime. The city watching on that day, just amazing stuff from.
Can't write that better.
You can't write that better. Absolutely incredible.
Did you watch Hard Knocks?
No, but I saw that clip.
Yeah. Did you watch Hard Knocks?
I didn't see this clip.
This dude, so I'll give the 10-second version of it. He's a great wide receiver. Right?
Undrafted rookie.
There's 2 undrafted rookies they signed. This tall guy and him, and he's short and he's quick, but that's all he's got. This tall guy is like dominating camp. It's looking like he's gonna get this for sure. And they go into the final day, and the tall guy gets it, so he walks in after him. He's like, "Oh man, shit!" Like he knows what's about to happen, but he actually signed him to the roster, which was like against all odds, probably like a 10% chance of that happening, if not less. And then he returns that kick for the win in OT, like Brandon said. So
That's amazing.
Cinderella story right there, man.
Love it.
And they're best friends, like the 2 undrafted guys.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Even better.
even cuter. Yeah. Anything else, Brandon?
I have actually. I was looking at my notes and I saw. I'm going to add one more. I had one more, but I'm going to add 2 more. One real quick. Jordan Whitehead, 3 interceptions, and this kind of goes into my next topic. But 3 interceptions.
God.
Absolutely incredible. That dude was jumping the ball. It wasn't like the ball was just absolutely thrown to his stomach and he just picked it up. But great game by him. If there was Aaron Rodgers on that field, and no offense to Zach Wilson, but if Aaron Rodgers had that opportunity with that defense and 3 interceptions, that game would have been over in the fourth quarter, 100%.
Lights out, yep.
Leading up to that, there's one dude that I'm going to point out. Josh Allen. 1 touchdown. 3 interceptions.
Wow.
And they weren't pretty interceptions, okay? These were, 2 of them, at least, were, let me talk about this, okay? 2 of these were heaves. Like, I'm talking like Madden, fourth quarter, like game on the line. You're like, all right, well, I'm probably not going to win this. I'm on the 20. Let me heave it up to my best player and hope this 4 verticals works. This man heaves 2 towards the end zone, and one of them is triple covered, and one of them is double covered. And it's no contest that they take this, that the wide receiver's not even like close to the ball at any of these. They're looking up at it, and they're basically playing defense because they know this ball is like 5 yards ahead of them. What are you doing?
I don't know, man.
You gave Jordan Whitehead at least 2 interceptions, but Jordan Whitehead, of course, played great defense. But Josh Allen cannot just sneak by this, okay? Because I was talking about this in our group chat. If this was Dak Prescott or something, and he threw those balls, the world would erupt in a fiery rage of saying, get rid of Dak Prescott immediately.
You know it.
But just because it's Josh Allen and his name and the Bills, they're going to coddle him, okay? And we can't accept it, right? Okay? Like, I mean, he has to be accountable for it. I'm not
we
saying
won't stand for this.
I'm not saying he won't be. I'm not saying Josh Allen doesn't know what he did. Like, Josh Allen, obviously, and I think he will come back and be a great player this season. But, I mean, it's kind of annoying to see, these quarterbacks that are like, 3 interceptions, damn. Like, that sucks for him. He'll get back. But if it's Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, they are slicing into them like there is no tomorrow.
Fields is off the roster right
now. They
are
are pulling, off with their heads. Josh Allen, you need to do better. You need to play better. And your team needed you in a position, and you put them in that position to lose. So you deserve to lose that game. But
I will say one thing about Josh Allen. I agree with that 100%. He needs to be held accountable. But in that post game interview, he was holding himself accountable.
Oh yeah,
and he was very much apologetic, saying, "I let my team down." All
That's
all that.
That's
and a
true.
quarterback should say that. But it just seemed like it was almost, it was kind of from the heart.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. No, he's
and so he always comes off as a good personality. Of course, you don't know these guys personally. You never know what they're like, but he always comes off as a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hope for the best for him. I'd love to see Cowboys Bills rematch in the Super Bowl anyways, especially now that we don't have the Jets going on. Or do we? But I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I think Josh Allen will bounce back.
Oh yeah, no,
I love it.
Yeah, let me rephrase that because I know that sounded like I was just attacking.
No,
Bills
rightfully
Mafia.
so.
Brandon
rightfully.
hates him.
But no, I do love Josh
I was just
Allen,
playing
and I
devil's
want to see him succeed, and I think he still will have, of course, better games. He will be in the MVP conversation, in my opinion. But I'm talking mainly to those sports media guys. That's kind of where I was talking to. Those first takes, all those. They are, they touched on it in a way. I think like one or two reporters said, hey, he needs to be accountable. And like you said, he was very apologetic. He wasn't like, damn, like tough loss, sucks. Team could have played better. Like he held
Time to go to the club.
Yeah. But I'm talking about those reporters that, they don't mention it or something because that's their MVP pick and they want to be like completely right about him. So like it's just annoying to see that on like ESPN day to day. And, some of these players will have crappy games, and it's just kind of, all right, on to the next week. Let's see what happens. And some of these guys like Dak or someone, just if that happened, just
implode.
Yeah, so that's enough of that. But Josh Allen will be, of course, better, and we expect big games from him from weeks to come.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
He'll bounce
sir.
back. But I totally understand, Brandon. Like, for example, TV. We see Fields throwing a pick. We see Love looking great. Not one thing about Josh Allen. So I completely understand what you're saying there. Great episode, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Jake, for coming on. Jake actually has a golf TikTok channel, and we're going to put that right here in the tag right here. How would you describe it, Jake?
It's kind of like golf ASMR in a way. It's not. There's not a whole lot of. It's quick. It's shots back to back to back. So golf ASMR, like hopefully some clean strikes. Hopefully I'm not screwing up too bad. But it's also it's honest scores as well. So if you want to keep up with that.
And he's actually
Always
good.
doing
Like it's not like you're watching some bum golf. No,
it's not
Jake's
like
the
me and
real
Cade
deal.
out there just swinging and chipping away like we're gonna do this.
No, it's beautiful form.
Pro golf.
Great videos. Oh yeah, pro golf. And highly recommend that. We'll tag it right here. Put it in the description. Thank you guys for watching today. If you enjoyed this, check us out on our socials. We got a TikTok as well, along with Jake's TikTok. And we got an Instagram, a Threads, an X, I guess that's what it's called. We got it all. And appreciate your support more than you know. We love you all so much. Have a great day. Peace.